Dear friends, in the Bible, in the Acts of Apostles, there is one bizarre story in which Apostle Paul, with his colleague Barnabas, are on a missionary trip through the south-central Anatolia, today's Turkey, and are mistaken for gods, Zeus and Hermes. Behind this bizarre misunderstanding is actually a beautiful ancient myth of hospitality. But unfortunately, the misunderstanding of this misunderstanding is also connected with the growth of homophobia among the ancient Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Let us start with the story of hospitality. It is nicely preserved and beautifully narrated by a gifted Roman poet, Ovidius. He tells the story of Philemon and Baucis, an elderly poor couple who offered hospitality to strangers not knowing they were actually Zeus and Hermes in human form. Philemon and Baucis were rewarded for their hospitality, while the rest of that hostile, hateful city around them was punished for neglecting their duty towards traveling strangers. There is a typologically very similar story in the Bible, in the book of Genesis. It is about two angels of the Lord visiting Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. When I link these two stories together, you can also realize why I did mention the emergence and growth of homophobia among the three Abrahamic religions. In all of them, this story about hospitality and protection of strangers by Lot was twisted into justification of vicious homophobia. Paul and Barnabas misunderstood and harshly rejected the genuine gesture of hospitality from the citizens of Lystra. They might not know the story of Philemon and Baucis, and they did not recognize the similarity of the biblical story, because by their time, most likely this biblical story had been already influenced by homophobia. Soon afterwards, the church, together with synagogue and the mosque, codified this misunderstanding for the upcoming centuries and twisted the story about hospitality into this foundational story of hatred. And this is something you might not know about the Bible. And it is important to talk about it, because only by talking about it and knowing about it, we can undo those centuries and centuries of viciousness and hatred and rejoice in the original story of welcome and hospitality. The book of Hebrews, also in the Bible, reminds us, do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing that, some have entertained angels without knowing it.